Hey, my name is Chris McDread. I want to welcome you to Chris McDread YouTube. I'm used to saying Chris McDread Online Academy. Welcome to YouTube channel. Before we start, the usual, click the subscribe button and also click on the notification thingy so we can get going. Today we want to talk about Loc Myths. Loc Myths. Loc Myths. What are the things that are perceived to be true in the locking industry by people who do not have locks and people who do have locks? So one of the main big locking myths, before we get there, hey, I want to interject this video by letting you know that everything you hear me talk about on YouTube is literally crumb bread. If you want to have the piece of the pie, go to my website www.chrismcdread.com and purchase a course so you can come closer. You get to have group classes that I conduct group meetings. You can ask me personal questions. You get access to me on Instagram. We get to have conversations. You know, you can ask me questions, but just here, this is just random and for everybody. I teach on Master Loc Teachings. I teach people who want to start locks from zero. You've never done locks, you want to start the business. I teach people who just want to learn how to do their own hair, to do their children's hair, to do their blessed beloved's hair. There's a diversity of classes. Entrepreneurs, there's a diversity. If you want to teach locks also, there's a diversity of classes on my website. I encourage you to go to www.chrismcdread.com and see what I have for you. Okay, there's always something for you. So the first lock myth off my head is just dirty locks faster. Who came up with that you can't wash your hair? Sometimes, back in the day, people wouldn't wash their hair for a whole year. If it takes a whole year to lock, how is that locking faster? It's a whole year. If you tell me I won't wash my hair for a month, I need to lock after a month, then that makes sense. If it doesn't do that, then wash your hair. And I will give you this for free. Water is a locking agent. It's the best locking agent. Washing hair locks hair faster. So dirty locks do not lock faster. It's a myth, unless you're talking about the cake, that dirt becoming hard, and then now you say, oh, my locks lock. No, your locks are just dirty. Okay, let's get to the second myth. This is a controversial one that is gonna rub people the wrong way, but I'm gonna make an entire video just about this, that locks are spiritual. I'm sorry. The reason why I'm laughing is because that statement is far from spirituality, because the things of the spirit are spirit. Nothing in this three-dimensional reality is spiritual. Not this skin, not my hair, not my voice, not my feet, not my house, nor any church. Nothing is spiritual. Not the cross. Nothing is spiritual. Those are symbols of spirituality. They are not holy in themselves. They are not spiritual in themselves. And if you're not somebody who's inclined to religion, you're inclined to science, what religion calls the spirit world, the science calls the energy. What religion calls faith, the invisible forces that move the world, the science world calls energy. The invisible fields that create matter. Matter is created from radioactive. The smallest atom on the planet, the smallest particle is called an atom. Inside an atom is nothing. It's a frequency, protons and neutrons and photons. Nothing made something. That sounds like a verse from the Bible. The world was formed out of nothing. God created the world out of nothing. But we're not talking about that right here. Locks are not spiritual in themselves. That goes to myth number 3. Locks are antennas. I will handle this separately in spirituality, because that means if you cut your hair, you lose your antenna. And then what is the antenna doing? Stepping into the spirit world? If that's the case, Did you know that every cell in your body has frequency and it can tap into the spirit world? Every cell in your body is an antenna. This is the least of all cells because it's made out of dead cells. You people don't understand the spirit world. You people say you're spiritual. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. What kind of spiritual research have you done to be spiritual? What kind of spiritual activities do you do to call yourself a spiritual person? Because you don't just become spiritual. A Christian is a Christian not because they have a Christian name, because they are a follower of Christ and they do the things that are required of a Christian. They pray, they read their Bible, they fast, they meet with the congregation of love, beloved ones, they speak the truth, and all those other things. They have the virtues and the giftings of the Holy Spirit. The fruits of the Holy Spirit is showing the giftings. If you're a Muslim, you have to do your 5 pillars. You have to do your zakah, your 5 times a day prayer. You have to visit Mecca and all those. If you're a Buddhist, all religions require you to have spiritual activities for you to say you're spiritual and be consistent in them. So no, locs are not antennas. Sorry, it's a myth. And I'm going to talk a lot about that. You can hear how motivated I am in that topic when it comes to spirituality. I love the things of the spirit. I love science. I love religion. I love studying faith and the invisible world. Another Loc myth is that people with locs are doper. People with locs are people. You'll find dope people without locs and dope people with locs. You'll find really weird people with locs and really weird people without locs. You know, one of the times I was arrested, not arrested, I was being frisked at the airport, and the guy was checking me and he said, "You smoke weed?" I said, "Wait, if I smoke weed, it has nothing to do with this hair, because there are more people who smoke weed that don't have dreadlocks than those who smoke weed that have dreadlocks. So that question has no relationship with my hair. You're stereotype casting me, and the guy who actually would bring drugs into the country does not look anything close to me, because I know I'm guilty when I walk into this airport. I know I look guilty. So I'm not even trying to put myself in a position to be searched. You do your job. You're doing a horrible job because you're typecasting me. You're bad at your job because you can't even tell somebody who has drugs." And that guy was super offended, but I was so cocky and confident because I knew there is nothing they will find in me. Anyway, I was just a by the way. So I was talking about dope, which means, which goes to the next one. There's a Loc myth that if you lock your hair, you're gonna look better. Some people, it works out very well. Some people, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. We can't generalize. Let's just be honest. We're going to be talking about generalization a little bit later. But also, a Loc myth is this is just a regular hairstyle. This has never been a regular hairstyle. Like, I should make an entire video on how the symbolism of this hair in relationship to other hairstyles in the African culture. I think I should do that in the future and show you how important this hair is from a tribal point of view. Before the modernization of the things like Mao, that is now the coming in of colonization and dreadlocks taking in a new shape and form and a new reality and a new meaning to the Kikuyu people. I'm just giving an example. Before that, they still had symbolism and meaning to it. So this is not an ordinary hairstyle. And if you're treating it ordinary, you're tripping. You're tripping. Yeah, another myth. This myth, I'm glad it's about to die, is that the word dreadlocks means dreadful. Now, I've got a video dedicated to that, so I'm not gonna even speak about that. People say there's nothing dreadful. There is nothing dreadful about you. I totally agree with you, but that's a statement made out of ignorance. Because there's the word dread, dreadlocks, dreads, dreadful. Pronouns, nouns, adjectives, verb. Why are you mixing up these things? It's like saying, I'm a Homo sapien. What does that mean? I'm a thinking man. I'm a Homo erectus. I'm a straight man. But I can't go around saying, there is nothing homo about me. Where did that come from? Homogeneous. They're words. So using the word, the white man say, do you have evidence? So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the word dreadful. You just do your research. Do better. Loc Myths, that starter locks and locks in general cannot be washed. That comes in with the lock that dirty hair locks better. They can't be washed, especially in this day and age. They can be washed. There's like 7 different ways of doing coils. You don't have to interlock or crochet, because interlocking and crochet can be washed immediately the same day. Coils that can be washed every week. If you're still doing traditional coils, that's why I said go to www.chrismcdread.com. I got you. I'll teach you all these things. Bruh, I'm telling you, this is next level, man. We're in the future now. This is the future. Loc Myths, that everybody who's got dreadlocks on is Rastafari. The Rastafarians themselves will tell you, you don't have to have dreadlocks to be Rasta. You don't have to have dreadlocks to be Rasta. That's just how big it goes to say that not everybody with dreadlocks is Rasta. Another interesting Loc myth is that people with locks are smarter. That's not true. You can still be smart. If I cut my hair, I'll still be smart. Like, oh, he's deep because he has locks. You see? No. He's deep because he reads books. He's deep because he meditates. He's deep because he does his research. He's deep because he's listening to the right kind of music. He's deep. Saying that myth is like saying all Kenyans can run fast. Oh, you go to Kenya and find out that very few people from Kenya can actually run fast. Or saying all Jamaicans can sprint. Come on now. Or all Indians do yoga. Psh, I've been to India, bro. You have no idea. Or all Chinese can do kung fu. Come on now. Or everyone from, from Africa owns a lion and walks around, with a spear. All Americans eat fast food. All Russians. I don't want to go there. But you catch my drift. That's a myth right there. Smartness doesn't come from growing hair. It comes from intentional studying, around allowing your brain knowledge to seep into you. Exposing yourself by reading books by great minds, watching, great movies, watching great documentaries, watching pop, all that. Another Loc myth that is there is that locks have to have meaning. Nah, it's a myth. They don't have to have meaning. You don't need a reason to have this hair, but just because you love it. Just have it. You don't need a spiritual reason. I did it for my journey. I get that, and it's a good thing. I did it because of this. I did it to identify with my people. I'm from the Mau Mau tribe. I'm Kikuyu. Nah. You want to do your hair, do it. It's your hair. You don't have to explain to people why I'm wearing this, why I'm wearing this t-shirt, or why I eat the food I eat. Or wear the white socks only. You don't need a reason. You just need to want it. That's all about it. You don't need meaning. Locks do not have to have meaning. Another big Loc myth is coming up. Salt water locks hair better. Oh, I know it's true, Chris. Like my friend, and I tried it. It wasn't the salt water. It was the water. Water, whether it's swimming pool water, sea water, whether it's washing your hair, water will help your hair lock better. Salt water is very bad for your hair because it rips off your hair of its natural oils. So that dry feeling, that hard feeling, depleted feeling, that dehydrated feeling in your hair is what people consider your hair has locked. But if you wash your hair frequently, your hair will lock. If you go to the sea frequently, your hair will lock, but it's not because of the salt water. Get it straight, get it together. Loc Myths. Locks are low maintenance. Unless you're free, even when you're free forming, you gotta cover your hair. You gotta redirect how you want your hair to free form. It's not, you gotta wash your hair, you got to oil your hair. And it's even difficult to oil your hair when you're free forming, because how are you gonna get those things inside to, get to massage your scalp? It's tough work. This hair is nothing close to low maintenance. This hair, to get this beautiful hair like this, I wash my hair twice a week. It's high maintenance. I wash my hair and I oil. Call it the ritual of oiling, the mindfulness of, let's not even talk about the ritual of washing, and then I anoint myself with oil. It's a whole ritual. I go twice a week, minimum once a week. There's nothing low maintenance about this hair. Loc Myth that locked people are patient. Why don't you speak to locticians? Why don't you speak to locticians? Because people miss the appointment 5 minutes, the loctician is late. They snap. Patience is not a trophy you put in your, cabinet. Patience is a virtue that you exemplify when you're required of it. You can't say, I'm patient. You can say, I was patient in that situation, because patience is a virtue that is required now. Are you patient to watch this till the end? That's patience right there. Tomorrow, there's a situation, a red light goes, a green light goes red. Do you have the patience to wait? Or do you have knee-jerk reactions? No, you can't generalize. I come back to the generalize. Excuse me, you can't generalize. Locks, some people who have patience. Yeah, you need patience to grow hair, but that doesn't mean you're patient. You're patient with your growing process. A pregnant woman is patient with the pregnancy process and is patient to raise kids. That means women should be more patient. Or married couples or people with kids, not just married couple, people who have adopted kids, people with kids should be more patient. No, they have patience with their children, but they're not patient people. Patience is a virtue that is required of you every day. Yes, you need patience to grow this hair. And this hair can be a symbol of your learning how to be patient. But patience is required of you in every single situation. Otherwise, we'll be like monks, that everyone with locks is not, you see how patient they are? Like the Mormons, you're like, you see how they dress? You see that? We should have a set of behavior that is known like monks or like Shaolin. You've gone through this discipline, so all these, Buddhist monk and Shaolin speak in a specific way because, or Maasai warriors in a specific way because they have developed it by the virtue of being part of that. So by the virtue of growing hair, generally people with locks should have more patience. But that's far from the truth. And I said, ask your loctician. You've got friends with locks. Watch if they're patient. Okay? Last but not least, this is a big loc myth. It says, date somebody with locks because you already know they can commit. You cannot judge the character of a person by the length of their hair. I repeat, you cannot judge the character of a person by the length of their hair. There is more to commitment to anything, to a job, to a relationship, to raising children that goes in more. Yes, I have a commitment. It's almost 10 years now. I committed to this hair, but that doesn't mean I'm committed to my loctician. People had hair for 10 years and they've been jumping loctician every 2 weeks, every other month they have a new loctician. How is that a symbol of commitment? You should be committed in every area of your life. There should be a graph that shows commitment. Baby mamas along the way. Where's your commitment? You are commitment to yourself, to your indiscipline, to your destructive behavior. Now, you've got to evaluate people by the content of their heart, and you know the content of their heart by the words they speak, by the actions that they do, by the thought process that they express, by how they live their life, but the music they listen to, the videos they watch, the way they treat other people, not just in restaurants, in life. You judge people or you make evaluation of people based on that, not because they grew long hair. Okay, there's so many other loc myths. I want to hear your loc myths in the comment section so I can hit you up with them on part 2. Share this video with somebody who believes some of these myths, and I know you're waiting for that loc spirituality video, and that's going to be very extensive. I've done great research. I'm coming with backups, not just words like these, with pictures and with references and all that jargon into it, and you can hit me with the same. Okay, peace out.